They all laughed when I spilled wine on a customer, but none of them knew I was secretly buying the entire restaurant. They thought I was just a clumsy waitress, a nobody, just a girl in an apron taking their orders while they threw back cocktails, and talked about their real careers. But behind my quiet smiles, I was making moves they could never imagine. If you've ever been mocked or underestimated, you need to hear this. Like, comment, and subscribe. This one's personal. I still remember the day Rachel, the manager's daughter, called me background noise. She said it right in front of her friends, laughing so loud the whole restaurant turned. I smiled like it didn't hurt. But inside, I broke. That night, I stayed late cleaning tables, pretending not to hear her and her friends planning their trip to Paris, the same week my rent was overdue. No one knew that every single dollar I earned from tips went into a silent fund. No vacations. No nights out. Just me, my savings app, and a dream I didn't dare speak out loud. See? While they laughed at my uniform, I was studying the business, watching customer patterns, supplier costs, even the owner's mood swings. Every mistake they made, I noted. Every time the chef complained about late payments, I listened. I wasn't just working there. I was studying it like a blueprint. Then one night, everything changed. The owner, Mr. Grant, came in drunk. Again. He screamed at the sous chef and fired the dishwasher in front of customers. People started leaving bad reviews, staff turnover exploded, and Rachel? She started begging him to sell. What no one knew was that I had been waiting for this moment. What I did next made everyone's jaw drop. I walked into Mr. Grant's office the next morning, not in uniform, but in heels and a blazer. He barely looked up, assuming I was some vendor. When I dropped the folder on his desk, his face twisted in confusion. "What's this?" he muttered. "My offer," I said calmly. "To buy the restaurant." He laughed so hard he started coughing. "You? With what money? Tips?" His voice dripped with sarcasm, but I just sat there, silent, while he flipped through the paperwork. Bank statements, investor backing, proof of funds. Every page stripped the laughter off his face like layers of old paint. "You're serious?" he whispered. "You're actually serious." "I've been serious for the last 4 years," I replied. "While your daughter mocked me, I was studying every inch of this place. And while you were too drunk to notice, your empire was already falling apart." That same week, the deal went through. The news spread like wildfire. Rachel stormed into the restaurant 2 days after the sale, expecting everything to be the same. She froze when she saw the sign on the front door, under new ownership. Her face turned pale when she saw me behind the bar, wearing heels, no apron, holding the keys. "You can't be serious," she muttered. I leaned in, smiled, and said, "Oh, I'm dead serious. And just so you know, we have a dress code. Now, entitled brats aren't allowed past the front door." But just when I thought I'd won, Rachel pulled out her phone. "You may own the place," she sneered, "but I still know something that can destroy you." That sentence changed everything. She stared at me with that smug little smile. The kind you only wear when you know a secret big enough to ruin someone's life. My fingers tightened around the glass I was holding. "What are you talking about?" I asked, my voice steady, but my heart was racing. Rachel tilted her phone toward me. "Remember that night 4 years ago? The fire in the kitchen? The insurance claim?" My stomach dropped. I did remember. The night an old fryer caught fire and shut the restaurant down for 2 weeks. Mr. Grant had filed a huge insurance claim. But what Rachel was suggesting now, it was something else entirely. "I have proof," she said slowly, "that the fire wasn't an accident, that you set it up to drop the value of the restaurant and make it easier to buy. It was a lie, a full-blown, disgusting lie But in that moment, the fear wasn't about guilt. It was about perception. If she leaked this, if she twisted the truth just enough, my investors could panic. Staff might walk out. Customers could turn on me. Everything I had built, every sacrifice I made, could collapse like a house of cards. I stood frozen. Then, she smiled and said, "Unless, of course, you're willing to sell it back, at a discount, to me." She actually believed I would cave, but what she didn't know was that I had recordings too. Messages, emails, even a secret voice note from her own father, bragging about staging that fire himself for the insurance money. So I said nothing, just looked her dead in the eyes and whispered, "Rachel, are you sure you want to play this game with me?" Her smile faded. "What do you mean?" I reached under the counter and pulled out a small USB stick, placed it on the bar between us. Her face drained of color, because the next move wasn't just going to protect my business. It was going to destroy hers. Rachel's hands trembled as she picked up the USB. "What is this?" she asked, though deep down she already knew. "Your father," I said softly, bragging about how he set the kitchen fire to cash out before the business tanked. He thought no one was listening. He was wrong. She looked like she'd seen a ghost. Her grip on the USB tightened as if crushing it would erase the truth. "You recorded him?" "No," I said. "He recorded himself. Left the voicemail. By mistake, when he was ranting about how easy it was to milk the system. Sent it to the supplier by accident. That supplier? My silent investor." Rachel's jaw dropped. "You played the wrong girl, Rachel. I wasn't just saving tips. I was building alliances." She opened her mouth to speak, but no words came out. Her threats had boomeranged. And now, I had the leverage. I leaned forward, calm and cold. "You have two choices. One, you walk out of this restaurant and never show your face again. Or two, I press play at a press conference tomorrow morning." Her face flushed with panic. "You wouldn't dare." "I dared to buy this place when everyone thought I was invisible," I replied. "Trust me, I'll do whatever it takes to protect it." She turned and stormed out, heels clicking like gunshots on the tile. The staff who used to whisper about me now stood frozen, watching the entire exchange. Some of them smiled, others clapped. For the first time, I wasn't just a waitress. I was the boss. But as the door swung shut behind Rachel, my phone buzzed. A private number. I answered. Silence for a second. Then a voice. "Miss Taylor, we need to talk. Rachel isn't your only problem. Someone else has been watching you. And they're about to make a move." My stomach tightened. The war wasn't over. It was just beginning. The voice on the phone was cold, precise. "They know about your silent investor, and they're not happy." I stepped outside the restaurant, my heart pounding harder than it did the day I signed the ownership papers. "Who's they?" I asked. "The old partners your investor left behind, the ones who got cut out of the deal. They've been watching you, watching everything, and now they want the restaurant, or they'll burn everything down, figuratively and literally." My hands trembled. For years I thought I was playing chess in secret, every move careful, calculated. But I hadn't realized I was just one piece in someone else's unfinished game. That night I didn't sleep. I poured through contracts, emails, deals. I called my lawyer at 2 a.m. Something didn't feel right. And then I saw it, a loophole. Buried in the original partnership papers between my investor and his former team. If the business ever changed ownership without notifying them, they had the right to reclaim up to 49% retroactively. I felt sick. By morning, the legal threat arrived, hand-delivered, thick envelope, no signature, just a simple note on top. "We warned you." I had two options, settle and lose control of everything I built, or fight back. So I chose a third. At noon, I hosted a VIP media tasting and invited every food critic, influencer, and business reporter I could find. I let them taste the new menu, hear the story, see the transformation. And before they left, I handed them exclusive access to a bombshell exposé. Everything about the old partner's history of fraud, theft, and threats, fully documented and ready for headlines. By 6 p.m., the story exploded online. The partners tried to deny everything, but it was too late. Sponsors pulled out. One of them got arrested that same week. And as for me, I stood in front of the same mirror where I used to adjust my cheap apron, now wearing a custom suit with my name stitched into the label. The restaurant that once treated me like a servant now had a 3-month wait list. Rachel, gone. Mr. Grant, bankrupt. And me? I was no longer the girl they laughed at. I was the owner of the empire they couldn't even afford to enter. And the best part? I still serve the wine sometimes. Just to watch their faces when they realize who's pouring.